Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Vocavita English. In today's video, we are going to talk about the usage of phrases and clauses in spoken English. Now, first let me ask you a question. Do you remember the trigonometry rules and formulas still? I think, except the math science students, none of us remember the formulas because we find that it is not relevant in today's time. In school age, our teachers have pushed us to learn, memorize and apply all these formulas. But in today's time, if you are an intermediate learner and you are above your college education working or you are in some job, you don't find any usage of applying those formulas anywhere. Yes, you have the grudges still that why we have to read, why we have to learn so many formulas, why we have to learn so many things when it is not relevant in our everyday life. You have no more grudges with English language because every element and every aspect of English language is used very well in daily life. Especially in spoken English, you use all the elements and you touch every aspect of grammar. Like in today's video, phrases and clauses. We are going to talk about how often and how well do we use the phrases and clauses in our everyday life. Phrases and clauses. First, let me tell you what it is all about. In school life also, if you are a student and you are watching this video, the confusion always remains between the difference of phrase and clause. First, let me tell you the similarity of phrase and clause is that phrases and clauses both are group of words. Yes? Now, the difference is phrases is an incomplete part of sentence that does not make any sense and does not have a subject and a verb. Whereas, clauses is a complete part of sentence that has a subject-verb combination and that does make sense. So, the main difference that we have to remember between phrases and clauses is that clauses has a subject-verb combination whereas phrases do not have subject-verb combinations. For example, my best friend does not make any sense. With the blue shirt. No. For 20 days. Still not making any sense. So all these are incomplete part of sentences and these are phrases. We are using these phrases and similar other phrases, many more phrases in our daily conversation, in our everyday life, and we are going to have a detailed insight about it. Now let's talk about clauses. He wanted to learn Sanskrit. I like to sing. Her hobby is making sketches. These are the examples of clauses and we are going to have a detailed insight about it. That is the complete part of sentence with a combination of subject and verb. And if you have heard in my previous videos, I told you that only subject and verb, these two elements of grammar are enough to make a sentence sound sensible. It is making sense only with the combination of subject and verb. You need not apply a preposition, you need not add anything else, any object to that. Still only subject and verb makes a complete sense. Now let's take few examples of phrases and clauses that we are using in our everyday life. Suppose you're talking about your best friend. Yes? So your first phrase is my best friend and the sentence from it can be my best friend never leaves me alone. Next, in the blue shirt. The phrase is in the blue shirt. How you can use in a sentence? The boy in the blue shirt is my brother. Third phrase is for 20 days. And use in a sentence could be I have been waiting for your response for 20 days. Fourth phrase is in spite of. That means instead of. And the use in the sentence is he was suddenly cold in spite of the sun. Why are you standing in a corner? That's a use of the phrase in a corner. Next phrase is pink in color. It can be used in a sentence as the cake that she bought was pink in color. Next phrase is at the shop. It's also a very common phrase. At the shop, pink in color. These are all common phrases I'm talking about that you use in your everyday life. There are still many complex kinds of phrases also. At a shop in a sentence could be used as there was nobody at the shop. In a warm manner. Another phrase used in a sentence is she smiled in a warm manner. In every possible place. Used in a sentence is we were looking for you in every possible place. Next phrase. During the day. How many times can we use this phrase? Do we use this phrase during the day? Yes, but that's not the sentence. You can use it anywhere you want. The sentence for during the day is the bookstore is crowded during the day. It has many other uses. What all activities you do during the day, you can insert anything and everything to this phrase and make a sentence and use it in your spoken English. Yes, a wonderful way to improve your daily conversation. So many phrases you have got in hand. Now let's take a quick example of the clauses. Yes, now remember that when we are talking about clauses are two kinds. Dependent and independent clause. That means when I'll give you a sentence, you will find that both the parts of the sentence, dependent or independent, is making sense because the meaning that I told you about the clauses, that clause is a complete part of sentence. That means whichever part you take, it makes sense. One is independent. That means it does not require the help of the other part of the sentence to make sense completely. But the dependent clause is a clause that depends on the independent clause for its complete meaning. We'll take one example of that. For example, wait in this room until your turn comes. Until your turn comes. This is a dependent clause. And wait in this room, it is an independent clause. Why is it called an independent clause? Because only if you say wait in this room, it's making complete sense. It does not require the other part of the sentence until your turn comes for its full meaning, for understanding it well, completely. So, let's take more examples of clauses to understand. Now here, I am stressing over more on dependent clauses. So, I'll tell you what are dependent clauses in all these sentences. Second one, because I know it. That's the dependent clause. Used in a sentence is, I can do it because I know it. Yes, this is what you can say during the day, anytime, whenever anyone questions about what do you do. Yes, I can do it because I know it. Of course, where he lives. If you're searching for someone and you're after him, this is the sentence that you can use. I shall go where he lives. Yes? If someone is asking for an apology, if someone is saying sorry to you, this is a sentence that you can use in your daily life. I forgive you since you apologized. Since you apologized is a dependent clause. It was so painful that I could not walk. That I could not walk is a dependent clause. And it was so painful is an independent clause. Yes, and you can talk about your pain, why, you can give a reason why you're not walking. It was so painful that I could not walk. Yes, now the next clause is whether he will come or not. If you're not sure about anyone's arrival, whether he's going to come or not, you can use this clause in a sentence. I'm not sure whether he will come or not. If you're talking about any person who looks very young, you can say, he is older than he looks. He is older than he looks. I will give you a clue so that you can find the answer. I will give you a clue so that you can find the answer. So that you can find the answer. That is a dependent clause. I will give you a clue. Yes, this you can speak to your kids if you're playing any game, something like that. I remember the places that I visited in my childhood. Do you remember the places? If you are sitting free in your spare time and you're discussing about the stories with your kids or with the young ones or with your students about the places that you visited in your childhood, you can always use this line. I remember the places that I visited in my childhood. Something is not right. I fear that something is not right. Yes, it can come out of intuition anytime during the day. So you have seen how many phrases and clauses actually we have used, and you are familiar with most of the phrases and clauses. You are using it maybe knowingly or unknowingly. But you see, phrases and clauses are indispensable. It's an inseparable part of our daily conversation. If you're really up to improving your spoken English, you should learn lots of phrases and use it in your daily life. There are many other good phrases for different situations. Now, these were some very common phrases. Especially, I wanted you to know what is the difference between phrases and clauses and how to use them perfectly. Now, since it's very clear in our mind what are phrases and what are clauses, one more time let me remind you that clauses is a subject-verb combination, whereas phrases does not have a subject-verb combination. Yes, so this is one point where you can differentiate. And if you have been with me till here, here is an exercise for you, a quick test for you. I brought 5 sentences and I want you to really test how far you have understood the phrases and clauses and whether you are capable of differentiating between the phrase and the clause or not. So let's see the first sentence. In the first sentence, let me read it for you. I do not comprehend what you say. The underlined part is what you say. And what you have to do is, you have to tell me whether the underlined part in the sentence is a phrase or a clause. To the count of 3, let me see whether you come up with the correct answer or not. That shows how far you have understood the lesson. 1, 2, 3. Yes, what you say is a clause. And why it's a clause? Because it is having a subject, you, and a verb, say. Yes, does it make sense? Yes, you just have to check whether a subject and a verb is there or not. And it is a clause. You get your answer. Simple, isn't it? Now, second one. The teacher who taught me in class 5 is no more. The underlined part is who taught me in class 5. So, this underlined part is a phrase or a clause. 1, 2, 3. It's a clause. Why again? Because it is having again a subject and a verb combination. Good going? Let's come very quickly to the third sentence. The young man threw the dog a bone. The underlined part is the young man. So, it's a phrase or a clause. 1, 2, 3. The young man is a phrase because it does not have a verb. It only has a subject. Yes. Okay, so I hope that you all are going very good and 2 more are remaining. See the fourth one. Hearing the noise, we came out. Hearing the noise is the underlined part. So, hearing the noise is a phrase or a clause. Hearing the noise. 1, 2, 3. Hearing the noise is a phrase. It is not a clause. Yes, do not confuse hearing with a verb. hearing is not a verb. Okay, so it is a phrase. It's not acting as a verb here. Fifth one, you remain where you are. The underlined part is where you are. So where you are is a phrase or a clause. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Where you are is a clause. And why? Because again it has a subject and a verb combination. I think now you have got a thorough practice and it's very clear in your mind, even if you're not from an English background and you're only up to having an improvement in your spoken English. I hope that this video is relevant for you and you've got a thorough practice of phrases and clauses, especially the difference and the common phrases that you can use in your everyday life. Very soon I'll be bringing more of expressions and phrases, interesting expressions that you can use and have fun learning English, especially spoken English. It's a lot of fun and it's very interesting to speak in English, and while speaking you learn more of English by correcting each other. It's a wonderful game. Hope this video was relevant for you. If you want me to make more such videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel, and I'll meet you every Wednesday and Saturday with a new video. Our next video will be a listening practice that you should never miss. So this time we're going to bring a new kind of listening text for you. You are not going to hear my voice, but you will be listening the voice of a native speaker, native English speaker, and then you have to guess what they have said. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Do not miss the listening activity. That will be our next video. And do not forget to subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Thank you for watching.